How do I look? Is this one better? No, wait, what about this one? These were some of the little worries that troubled the minds of one of the 17th century's greatest diarists, and I got to learn about them firsthand by visiting his collection at Magdalen College, Cambridge. Hi, my name is Marlo, and I'm a PhD student researching elite 17th century fashion. As part of my research, I use a variety of different sources, including manuscripts, printed material, and visual sources. These fashion prints are what actually brought me to Magdalen College and the Pepys Library in the first place. These two volumes are called The Habits de France and The Modes de Paris, and Pepys collected them between 1670 and the 1690s. They contain 100 illustrations of named and anonymous French aristocrats modeling the latest fashions. And they could be used in volumes like this, they could be displayed, or they could be used as a guide to the latest styles. So, for example, if you were a man, this is what you might have worn. This is a French evening ensemble, and you could see that the model has a fashionably frizzed periwig and is wearing this very ruffly and lacy shirt with a French cloak and lots of ribbon loops on his breeches or trousers. But there's also examples of what a fashionable woman might have worn, such as this example, which is a woman's city apparel. She is wearing lots and lots of elaborate lace trims, and you could see that the print's been colored in, possibly by Pepys's long-term lover, in pink and gold and red and green. She holds a painted fan that has a landscape, and she has lots of face patches or mooches on her face. And in her hair, she has more ribbon loops as well as a lace veil. And you could see throughout this ensemble the layers of detail and elaborate trims that go into it. For historians of the 17th century, Pepys is a tremendous resource because he left this incredibly detailed diary covering his years as a young man between 1660 and 1669. Not only did he record important contemporary social or political events, but he also noted his day-to-day activities and his emotions. Unfortunately, when the diary ends in 1669, it can be a little bit harder to access Pepys's later life. One of the benefits of coming to the library to see the prints is that it demonstrates that Pepys's interest in fashion continued throughout his life, and it's allowed me to get closer to the day-to-day experiences and emotions he felt, even in his later years. Pepys was riddled with anxieties and worries about dress, and he wrote a lot of this down into diary. He noted when he wore new clothing and when he looked his best, but also when he was afraid to be shown in certain styles as well. He was the son of a tailor, and he was rapidly climbing through the civil service, so he wanted to dress well, but at the same time, he was constantly worried about dressing above his station. In a noteworthy instance in the diary, Pepys recorded receiving a new summer suit with gold lace sleeves and cuffs. While he was afraid to wear it at first, he eventually went to the park, but a week later was confronted by a colleague from the Naval Office who saw him and told him that his sleeves ought to be removed. As a result, Pepys went back to the tailor to have the sleeves removed, as he said it was fit he should. In the 17th century, France was seen as having a sort of cultural supremacy over clothing, and this was threatening not only to the English economy, but also to its moral values. Increasingly, French costume was linked to notions of Catholicism and popery, which in turn had moral connotations of being vain, extravagant, or frivolous. For Pepys and his peers, or anyone who wanted to dress a certain way, you wanted to wear French fashion as a way of displaying your cosmopolitan consumer prowess. But at the same time, if you wore too much French fashion or appeared overly interested in it, you would be linked with the same moral condemnation. In the discipline of history, we're always warned against anachronism and projecting our modern feelings and emotions onto historical figures. But one of the things I've learned since working in the Pepys Library and working on Pepys himself is that he was a profoundly human figure, and he was riddled with many of the same anxieties and emotions that we have today.